I would like to begin by acknowledging the time it has taken to publicly release this report. Defence sincerely regrets this delay, and we apologise for the angst this has caused the soldiers' families and their friends. A number of contributing factors led to the delay in releasing this report. An inquiry into a fatality requires careful consideration, and the inquiry report has also required extensive and ongoing consultation with the United States government. However, it is clear that insufficient resources and priority have been afforded to the processing of the inquiry reports. Our action in this instance does not typify the manner in which we strive to provide care and support to the families of those Australians who are killed in action. The Minister has directed that Defence provide a full and detailed explanation on the delays to him and the Prime Minister, and to provide advice on the steps Defence is taking to ensure delays like this do not occur in the future. This we are doing. The Chief of Defence Force has apologised to the families for the delay in releasing this inquiry report, and I echo his regret for the additional distress that this has caused the families of the 3 commandos killed in the accident. Over 20 and 21 June 2010, Afghan and coalition forces, including an element of Australia's Special Operations Task Group, were conducting a disruption operation against the insurgents. In the early hours of the morning on day 2 of the operation, 4 US UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters were transporting personnel into the Sharwali Kot region of Kandahar province. During the final approach to the landing zone, one of the helicopters, carrying 10 Australian soldiers and US personnel, crashed into a slight embankment in open desert terrain. The impact caused the helicopter to roll and the fuselage to catch fire. The 3 remaining Black Hawks responded immediately, landing close to the crash site to provide initial medical assistance and security around the area. This rapid response, provided by Australian and US personnel to treat and evacuate their wounded colleagues, meant they were transferred to the medical facility at Kandahar within 45 minutes of the crash. As a result of the crash, Privates Applin and Palmer were killed instantly, along with 1 US serviceman. 8 Australians were wounded, including Private Chuck, who was pronounced dead from his wounds shortly after arrival at the Roll 3 medical facility. A civilian interpreter contracted to provide assistance to the Australians, and 3 US servicemen were also wounded. To summarise, Private Applin died of multiple injuries as a result of the helicopter crash. His injuries were not survivable, and it is likely he died instantly. Private Chuck died of multiple wounds as a result of the helicopter crash. His injuries were not survivable. And Private Palmer died of catastrophic multiple injuries as a result of the helicopter crash. His injuries were not survivable and he died instantly. 7 other Australian commandos were also on board the helicopter when it crashed and were wounded in the action. The Australian Defence Force continues to provide medical treatment for 6 of these men who are now undergoing rehabilitation, while 1 soldier has now returned to work full-time. The Australian Inquiry Officer found that there were also no evidence of any Australian personnel failing in their performance of their duties, that the operation was properly authorised, and there were no ADF training, procedural or equipment deficiencies or issues that contributed to the incident.